Hello. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome back. This is Sunday at the Table with Shub. That's me. And today we are playing Mycelia. Specifically, we are playing Mycelia with the new Prisma expansion. It was released, I believe, Q3 or Q4 of last year, completely under my radar. I was strolling through the shelves of my local friendly game store, and lo and behold, Mycelia Prisma was staring me in the face, and I was like, first of all, I love Mycelia. I have the base game. I really enjoy it. And when the hell did they release an expansion for this game? I had no idea that they were doing that. So I said, that must come home with me. So I got it, sight unseen practically. I just searched and made sure it wasn't a bad expansion first, and I didn't. That's all I needed to know. Once the community liked it, I said, well, it's going to be good, so I'm just going to pick it up, because that was almost an instant purchase for me. So here we are, and I said, well, I got this. This is an unexpected treat. We got to get it streamed. I was going to stream this game anyway, not knowing about the expansion, so that was just the perfect example, the perfect moment for me to just say, well, we gotta play it. So here we are. This is Mycelia Prisma. And what are we doing in Mycelia? Well, we are little anthropomorphic mushrooms, and we are playfully competing for the blessing of the forest goddess. Yeah, and we're doing that by bringing offerings of dewdrops and prism drops to the goddess. And the one who can clear their little forest floor of those dewdrops and prism drops, now, that's the new resource in the expansion, the fastest will earn the blessing of the forest goddess. So that's what our goal is. Normally we'd be competing with other mushrooms with their little sections of forest floor. But today we'll be competing with, and this is the name I couldn't remember a moment ago. We will be competing with Gwidyon. Gwidyon is an ancient mushroom ghost who's been around a long, long time. And Gwidyon is also wanting to keep the blessing of the forest goddess, and so he will also be trying to clear his little forest board of dewdrops. And so my goal would be to try to clear my forest floor before he does. So I need to get all of these off of my player board before he gets all of his off of his player board. Normally in the base game, Gwidyon gets 20 dewdrops. In the expansion, the book says it's a little easier to win against Gwidyon if he's given 20. Now, you can just keep playing him as 20 if you want the standard game. But the book was also like, because he's a little easier with the expansion added in, you see if you can beat him at like 18 or 17. So I went ahead with 18, and I'm going to do, he's got 18 to my 22 is how that's going to work. Normally in a regular game of Mycelia, there aren't any pink prism drops. There are only these tealy blue dew drops. And you'll notice this is my forest floor. So we have certain regions like this square here is got like fallen leaves, right? This spot here has green moss. This spot here is water, and here is mud. But we also have this little portal space up here. And this is where we're actually trying to deliver all of our dewdrops and pearl drops. We are trying to do that because if we put them here, then the goddess gets them. Received by the goddess, essentially recognizing us for our work. Now, we can clear the board one of two different ways. We can move our dewdrops and prism drops around our board and and drop them here. So essentially move them here. That would be the step, right? And once we do that, we get to put them out on the shrine. I'll show you that in a moment. But there's also cards that just let you remove them straight from the board. Mycelia is at its core a deck building game. You are building a deck, which means buying cards from a market and adding them to your deck of cards, your own personal deck of cards. And also, you'll have opportunities, hopefully, to prune cards from your deck so that you see the good cards that your good upgraded cards more regularly. And that's why it's a deck building game, because you're both acquiring cards and shedding cards out of your deck to tune that deck to your liking. So what does that mean? Well, at the beginning of the game, I start with a basic set of cards, and every round we will be playing 3 cards. And these are my first 3 cards off of my shuffled deck of starting cards. They're starting cards, they're very basic, but they give you something to start your engine with. You get a basic move action. So this will let you shift a dewdrop or a pearl drop from one space to another. You're basically shifting it from one space to an adjacent space. Or this is giving you money. Money are leaves. We are collecting little leaves in the game. And so anytime you see this leaf symbol, think of it as money. That's what it is. So in this card, I'll just simply get 1 leaf. This card here, though, is interesting. It's slightly different. I'll get 2 leaves, but all of my opponents will get 1 leaf. So when I play this card in a multiplayer context, everyone wins, right? They all get 1 leaf, I get 2. So you're going to see this little group mushroom symbol around, and that's what denotes everybody else around the table also gets something when that happens. That's not optional. You play this card, both things happen. You get good stuff, they get a little bit of good stuff too. So let's say that I want better cards than this. This is the starting card. Obviously, these are not going to be the best cards that you're going to have, but it gets you started. So you will spend your leaves on buying cards. This is the current market. This is the current cards that are currently available for purchase. Their cost is in the upper right corner of the card. That's why you'll see that leaf symbol up there. I believe this is true, and I'll double check it when I buy my first card that has these, but these immediate symbols in the upper left, that's the little lightning bolt there, followed by the stuff that follows it. I believe that happens when you first acquire the card. So in this case, when you buy this card, everybody else around the table will be able to remove 1 dewdrop from any square on their board. That gets them a little closer to the end of the game. But in exchange for that little bump that they get, you get a really powerful card every time you draw this card. This card says that you can remove 2 dewdrops from any water space on your player board. That's why it's got that little blue background on it. And then also, you can remove 1 dewdrop from any orthogonally adjacent space. That means no diagonals. So you're going to be able to remove 3. But what that means is if I don't have any dewdrops especially if I don't have 2 dewdrops on 1 water space, I might want to do some moves before activating this card to ensure that I can get that full benefit when this card comes around. Likewise over here, this is interesting. This is, you can remove 2 dewdrops from any space. Very powerful because it's not just restricted to a certain type of space like water or leaves or moss or mud. And the immediate effect here is you can also banish a card out of your deck. You can remove a card out of your deck. So you get to basically replace a card with the card that you're buying when you buy this card. So these are 2 advanced cards. More basic cards are just better versions of the base cards. Like get $3 in 1 card rather than 2, right? And then these are like get $4 or remove dewdrops from red spaces twice. This 2x means I can do 1 from 1 space and 1 from another space. I'm not locked in to doing them from the same space like I am with this card here. And lastly, this card is just, get $1 and remove 1 from any space, right? So that gives you a taste of the base game and how the base game works. I'm playing cards to move dewdrops around my board. I'm trying to deliver them to the shrine when I can. I'm also looking to take advantage of just flat removing those cards if I need to, or not cards, removing dewdrops and pearl drops, prism drops rather, when possible. Here's the shrine. Here's what I'm talking about when I say the shrine. And that looks really dark now that the sun went away. So I'm going to fix it. Let me increase that briefly. There we go. That's better. Okay, that's good enough. I just want to make sure it can be seen. Great. So on the shrine here, this is, by the way, kind of a three-dimensional thing. It's actually about, I don't know, 2 inches tall or so off the table, which is really neat. We're going to be placing the dewdrops that we deliver to the shrine in these little spots here. And this middle piece rotates. And as dewdrops fill this up, then as soon as it gets filled, then it gets dumped. So that will rotate all the way around, it'll swirl around the shrine, and they will dump all of those pearls out of the shrine. And some of them will land back on our boards to clear again, and some will hopefully not land on our board, and we won't have to worry about having water droplets, creating new drops for us to worry about. So the goal is to get things out here, and we get benefits for doing that. One of the biggest things that gets added when you add Mycelia Prisma to the game is this overlay that runs around the outside of the board. Normally, on a regular game of Mycelia, there is nothing out here. It's just art. It's just cute little wooden stump art. But they added this ring, and they gave you these little mushroom markers for player markers. So these are the other 2 player markers in the game. When you're playing a 2-player game or a solo game, they just occupy the first 2 spaces out here. That means the first space we move to is this one out here. It just makes sure that you're not having to spend too much time earning things around this track. So what are we doing? Well, these mushrooms are going to be moving along the outside edge. And when we get to the green section, we'll have the ability to acquire a gift. And that gift will be from the green deck of gifts. If we instead don't do that and we continue to move our mushroom around, then we're going to end up in this orange section. And that means we can buy an orange level gift instead of the base green level gift. It also means we can slum it and go buy a green gift with our orange level, but we don't get any change for that. So it's really try to buy the best card you can. But if the card you really want is cheaper and at a lower level than what you can buy, and that's one that you really want, you could do that. You don't get any special for doing that. You're just out the rest of that ability. So let's say you keep earning though, and you keep your mushroom moving, you eventually will land on this kind of unmarked purple space, pinkish purple space here. And that's the 3rd tier of gift. Those are even more powerful gifts, but you have to wait longer to get a gift because you're spending more time moving that mushroom around to get to this section of the ring to get access to those fancy cards. What are those fancy cards? They look a little bit like that. So this is the green deck, and this is the card that's currently available as the gift in the green deck. And we'll get into what these mean as we go. This is the gift that's currently available in the orange gift deck. And then if you wait long enough and you get all the way to the purple section, this is the purple card available right now. Later, and sometimes the AI Gwidyon, or I forget his name, Grindel something. He will sometimes cycle these cards as well. So we're going to be dealing with a little bit of kind of variability depending on where and when our AI opponent is active. So this is kind of the crux of the new content, are these gift cards, and the prism drops are what kind of enable us to move our mushrooms around. So what I mean is these purpley pink dewdrops out here, these are prism drops. And every time we deliver one of those to the shrine, our mushroom gets to move, basically, move around the shrine. So we're going to have access, limited access to gift cards that get added to our deck the more we deliver Prism drops to the Goddess Shrine. So that is the ultimate goal here. So the game, if I just take a step back, the base game of Mycelia isn't actually changed much by the expansion. Really, the only thing are those extra gift cards, but the core game here is exactly the same as it was. There's very little in terms of extra crunch added to the game by adding this expansion. So at first blush, I think this is going to be a great expansion that for players who have played Mycelia a lot, or who are looking for a slightly better, or not better, a slightly more crunchy puzzle to solve, this might be a welcome addition to your table, adding the expansion. So you'll still get that core gateway card deck builder experience. So this is a brand new game to somebody who doesn't play a lot of board games and they really aren't familiar with deck builders. Mycelia, the base game, is a perfect choice for that kind of a player. This, adding Prisma, is going to kind of level you up. So once you've played it a bunch with a brand new person who's just learning deck building for the first time, you can then add in Prisma to add that next layer of crunch without having to over-complexify their experience or teach them a brand new game. So I think for an experienced gamer, someone like me who plays games all the time, this is going to take a game that is a delightfully light little puzzle to play and take it to that nice little, where I like to go is Gateway Plus, slightly more crunchy, but not so brain-burny that I have to sit and devote an entire afternoon to focusing on a puzzle. I like those too, but I don't play them as often. These kinds of games that reach that little plus level, that medium light range kind of game, that seems to be my sweet spot. Those are where I tend to gravitate. So I think that this will take that to the next level for me. So let's find out. I've kind of taken a bit around the board and looked around. If anybody who's just joining, welcome in, by the way, is needing a bit of explanation, let me know. I'm happy to pause and re-explain things. But other than that, let's get started. So on my first turn, let's take a look. One more recap here. This is my player board. This is the forest floor with my dewdrops and prism drops on it that I need to clear before my opponent clears theirs. So as you can see, it's kind of all scattered around. By the way, when you set up the game, this is how you set up everybody's player board. It gives you, there's a little cardboard tile and it says this is how it's all set up. There's a lot of these. There's fewer of them for the expansion, which is kind of annoying. But the base game has a lot of these. And so that means you're never going to have the same starting position twice. And if you do, you probably have seen a bunch of other ones before. And they're double-sided as well. So that stack there's a lot there. So the variability in setup is there in terms of how and when these drops get layered onto the board. So anyway, just wanted to touch on that. Let's see, what do I want to do? Well, like I said before, I have 3 cards and you're always going to play 3 cards. This is my starting hand, so let's just work through them. I think I would like to do a quick move. I'll do a quick move action. So that's the first card I'll play. And let's go right off the bat. Let's move a Prism Dewdrop with that card. Well, I have one that's right next to the shrine. So let's just deliver it right away. Let's move it to the shrine right now. And as is my custom, I do tend to go a little slow on my first turn just to make sure that I'm not losing anything, not forgetting something, but also just to step through my first turn so make sure I'm interpreting the rules correctly. So let's see. You put in dewdrops that you remove directly or via the shrine in the empty fields of the tree shrine at the end of your turn. You do that here. Okay, got it. So I think we just start doing it. Yeah, we start doing it at the beginning. Okay, cool. So we'll take this prism drop here that we just delivered and we'll come up to the shrine. And so I'll take that off that little shrine space and I'll put it in the very first spot on the shrine. And so as this fills up with dewdrops or prism drops, eventually it will fill up and we will reset the entire thing by dumping all of those drops out of the shrine. Some of them will go away completely, and some of them may land back on our player board. It's the forest floor, after all. Let me make sure I am not missing anything about what happens when you... whenever a player removes a prism drop from the board, that player immediately receives 1 favor. Use your mushroom figure to then add the favor to the favor bar. For each favor you receive, move your mushroom forward 1 space. Okay, so I'm going to move my little mushroom figure here 1 space. The way to do that is you go to the next open available space, which for me is right here. So not quite, oh, hello. So not quite on the board in terms of being able to afford a gift yet. I have to build up favor before I get a gift. But the green gifts are the kind of the next step, orange, and then that pinkish purpley space. So I'm really close, but not quite close enough to get a first gift. But that's not bad. Not bad for our first move. Okay, well, that was 1 of my 3 cards. These are the other 2 in my hand. We're going to play them now. I get some money. Straight up get some money. So I get $3, 1 for this card and 2 for that card. So I'll just grab a 3 and we'll stick it out there for now. We'll put it here to make it easy. Okay. So we've played our cards. Let's see what happens after we've played our cards. Oh, and also, not for nothing, the other players would have gotten $1, but because we're playing solo, they don't get money because they don't care about money. They just care about getting, right, okay, so nothing happens. Yeah, I just want to make sure that Gwidyon does not get money when other players would normally get money, or leaves, really. So in this case, we just ignore that. But in cases where other players would be able to remove dewdrops, he would absolutely get that benefit. He just doesn't collect any money because he doesn't care about money. Okay, so those are my 3 cards. We'll go ahead and just put those in my discard pile and back to the main board. Okay, what happened? So I played my cards. Now I get to buy cards if I want to. You can hire heroes and other cards at any time or more than once from the open showcase market. The market, by the way, looks like that right now. And I have $3. I can afford 2 of those cards because the price is in the upper right corner. And that means I can buy this card or this card. Let me look at one of the icons to make sure I'm not missing a trick. There is a little bug icon in the bottom corner, very teeny tiny in the bottom corner there. And that says the beetle. The beetle fields must contain the exact number of drops. I see. Okay. So what this card does is it gives me $1 and it lets me remove a dewdrop from any space. But because it's got that little beetle symbol in the corner, that section of my player board cannot have any other dewdrops in it. It must be a space with just 1 dewdrop in it. Similarly to this must be a space with only 2 in it. Can't have 1, can't have 3, has to have exactly 2. If I do have 1 exactly 2, then I can remove both of them. That's what that little symbol means when you see it, that it must be exact. If you don't see it, like here, you don't see that symbol, then it doesn't matter. You can have multiple different ones in that space and you're just removing 2 of them. So, long story short. Right, great. Got it, perfect, understood. Okay, so what do I want to do? Well, part of me is like, let's buy a new card. I'm here, get a card that gives me more money faster. Not a bad card. Certainly would outbuild the engine a little bit. But do I save up and get something like that? I don't know. I got 3 now. I think we're going to go for the early win here. We're going to spend 2 of our 3 and we're going to buy this cheap card here. Now, when we buy cards in Mycelia, ooh, that's not the button I want. There we go. When we buy cards, then let's see, every time you take the card from the showcase, immediately place it face down on the top of your deck. So I will get that card next, which is cool. Okay, Right. Yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Is that all we're doing on our turn? I think that's it. End of your turn. Your turn ends when you've played all 3 cards from your hand and cannot or do not want to hire further. Did that. Make sure that all cards you have played are lying in your discard pile. Did that. Fill up the showcase. Okay, filling up the showcase. We'll show that in a minute. Right. The shrine is not full because it needs to have 10 in a 2-player game, and it only has 1, the one that I first shipped. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. So now let's get to what Gwidyon does. Gwidyon, I'll get Mycelia's expansion out in a moment, but okay. How to play. You start the game normal, then Gwydyon's move. You turn up his first solo tile. So this is Gwidyon. He's got his little deck of solo tiles. He's got a little status marker here. We'll talk about what that does when we get there. And we get the pile of dewdrops that he's got to clear. And that's what he's working towards. So I'm going to flip up his first tile here, and we're going to see what it does here. Okay. That one just says move 1 drop on your game board 1 field further orthogonally from any field. That's an interesting way to word that. Huh. I think what that means is I'm going to look at my player board and choose 1 field further orthogonally from any field. So what I think is I'm trying to get them here, and I think what he's trying to do is move them further away. So where would I want to go? Move 1 drop on your game board 1 field further orthogonally from any field. Further. That is strange. Well, I guess I will shift that down here. That's what I'm reading, just further down. Okay. Let me make sure also that when we move, there isn't an issue with soil. I think that moving soil takes extra movement, but I just want to double check. That was just something that is sticking in my brain of how it works. I thought that moving things in and out of soil takes extra movement, but I'm going to double check that. Landscapes, soil. Transparent drops. Yeah. Movement. Since yeah, right. Huh. I might be misremembering that. I'm not seeing any movement rules around soil. Strange. All right, now, God, well, if you happen to see anything in the rule book for Mycelia around movement and soil spaces specifically, let me know. I'm not seeing it. I don't think I have to worry about it. And it's a future me problem. I'll figure that out. Because we haven't gotten there yet. All right. So anyway, what is he doing? We did that. We turned up his dial before the function, and then it's my turn. Great. Okay, cool. Very simple. He's super quick. Let me make sure that I'm not missing anything for the expansion real quick. Right. That's the German. That's going to take me a lot longer to read. There's the English. There we go. Yep. Yep. Okay. Right. When does he move forward? Right. Ah, okay. So Gwidyon will move forward on the favor bar, this outer ring here, whenever he reshuffles his deck of tiles. And that happens when he gets close to depleting his deck of tiles. So I don't have to worry about it for now. He will move, but it won't move right away. So let's find out what our next cards are. Back down here. So we got our new card, the one we just bought. We're going to get $3 for that. And we got our basic money. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll just play those first two right away, get $4. That gives me 5 right now, which is kind of nice. Okay. Okay, so we have $5. And then this one, that is one of the new cards in the expansion. This is a Prisma card, specifically. It's one of the starting cards for Prisma. And how they work is whenever you play one of these cards, you will automatically say, this says, draw one card from your deck right away. So you're gonna always, yeah, these are called gift cards. When you draw the 3 new cards at the end of your turn or at the start of the game, you must immediately place gift cards in your gift area after drawing them. Okay. Always place gift cards at the top of your gift area. So this is actually going to leave my play area here, and it's going to come up here to my gift area. This is just your current status effects for the round. And so because that card is leaving your hand, it's saying, hey, draw another card. So I will draw another card. And my hand now looks like that. So I have, just as a reminder, spent those 2 cards. And now this is the card that replaced that other card. But what does this card mean? Right? This is a status effect. And what it means is it says, if you buy a card from the market, the open showcase, as it's called in the book, during this turn, you receive 1 favor. This applies to every card you buy from the cards shown. So you can use this card multiple times if you buy multiple cards. So if I buy a card this round, I will be able to move my favor mushroom token 1 step. I have $5, but let's make sure we resolve our cards first. This is the card that replaced my first card. So this lets me move a dewdrop on a water space specifically. So let's take a look at my board. I have, all of these are currently on water spaces. English rules not posted to BGG. That's dumb. Will you double check, if you would, if Ravensburger's website happens to have the PDF? That's dumb. Shame on them. Okay. What do I want to move, though? It's got to be off of a water space. Let's just move one of our drops up like that. Let's just do that. That makes sense. Okay. So that's done. Now we have $5 to play with, and we get an extra favor when we buy cards this round. So let's look. We have $5 to play with. I like this. This is a good card. This is a good card because it's $4 if I need the money, or remove 2 dewdrops from leaf spaces. And it can be split across different spaces because it's a 2x card. So I'm going to buy this card. This card is great. We'll do that. So this goes onto my deck, and all 5 of my monies go away. Okay. And then these get discarded, and I get 1 favor because of that gift card that we dealt. So that means my mushroom will move into the green section. So do I want to buy the green card? I don't know. What does it do? Well, when I draw it, I will be able to get a new card for whatever is, basically I'm replacing that card with a different card. So I'll be able to draw another card. That's nice. I get to cycle through my deck a little faster. But what else does it do? Well, there's an immediate effect on it. So let's figure out what that immediate effect does. This is Umbra. Yeah, Umbra. If you buy this card, you may immediately recycle one card. Draw one card when you play this card. I'll get to recycling in just a second. Ignore the bonus for other players on your cards during this turn. That's cool. So other players don't get to do stuff when I have that card in play. Ooh, that's cool. If you play a card with this symbol, the other players receive nothing. This also applies if you buy cards with a one-time effect that would apply to other players. Also cool. Okay, great. Okay, so I might want to buy that card. That's actually pretty nifty. Let's see what that little symbol means. It says recycle card. This symbol describes a new play feature. Similar to removing cards, you can choose exactly one card from your own discard pile or from the gift area. Place this card back at the top of your draw pile again. If you choose to recycle a gift card from the gift area, the effect ceases to apply during the current turn. Okay, I understand what that means, but we'll get into it if we ever run into that. So do I want to buy that, or do I want to hang out and get access to better cards? That's pretty handy. This purple one says anytime a card effect has you moving a dewdrop or a prism drop, it instead can be removed straight out. You don't have to move it, you can just remove it. That's pretty good. While that card is in effect, any move actions result in you being able to remove it instead. Do I save up for that? And this card means when I buy a card from the market, I can banish a card from my deck when that's in effect. Those are both really good. The reason why I might want to pay attention to this, other players don't get to do stuff, is that I can load up on powerful cards that have effects that grant Gwidyon the ability to remove stuff, and then just have that card in play. And when that card is in play, Gwidyon doesn't get to remove anything. So that's a nice little stopper. Maybe I get this now, take advantage of that as early as possible, and then save up. What's nice is, yeah, maybe that's what I do. I think we are going to do that. So here's how we're going to go. We're going to buy this top card. This now becomes the new top card of the deck. We're going to put that in our little discard area, or on top of our deck, like we would with any other acquired card. And then we take our mushroom and we put it back on the starting spot, because we've spent the favor we've accumulated. Okay. That's that. Now let's refill the market, and we'll find out what Gwidyon does. Gwidyon is going to, I think that's just reshuffling the market. That's going to be pretty simple to read, I think. Okay. Place all the cards from the showcase onto an open discard pile, then yeah. Okay, so he's cycling the whole market. This will go faster once I've seen these tiles once. But okay, so we got a brand new market. Not a bad thing. It's always good to see new cards in a deck building game. All right. Okay. Right. Okay, and that's all he did. Wonderful. Okay, let's draw some cards. Oh, right. Whoops. Hold on. when I bought this card, I can recycle a card. So I get to go through my discard and decide which card I want recycled to the top of my deck. So I would buy that card, that would go on the deck, and then the recycled card would go on top of that. So I've done that, and now the cards come out, and here's my recycled card. Here's the card that I just bought, and here is one of my other cards. Pretty powerful, but this is a gift, so that'll come out. My other gift will come away. That'll be discarded. And so this is the gift that I drew, and it lets me draw one card to replace it, so I have done that. And it also now means that anything that has that symbol on it that I play this round has no effect. Okay, so the easy ones are, I want money because I'm still building my engine here. So I'm going to play those for cash and get $7. Cool. $7, done. And now I'm going to play that to move one dewdrop off of a red space. The question was, when moving dewdrops in or out of soil spaces, which are these brown spaces here, do I have to spend more movement because it's in the soil? Or is there no such rule? And I'm just misremembering the rule. The question is do I have to spend more movement points to get stuff out of the soil? That's the open question. Okay. Well, I have a choice to make here. I'm trying to go to from the red leaf locations. Let's just keep it simple. I want more favor for now, and it doesn't really matter. I got to clear my board regardless. So I'll move a prism token up. That's what I'll do with that action. Okay. So that takes care of all of those cards. I have money, $7. My deck is empty, by the way. Do I shuffle my deck right away, or do I shuffle my deck at the end? Let's find out. Let's find out. When do I shuffle my deck? Right. Yes. If there are fewer than 3 cards or none at all in your supply, then shuffle your open discard play. Place these cards down underneath all remaining cards of your supply pile. I see. Okay. Okay. So one thing that I'm noticing is that I'm supposed to be drawing my new cards at the end of the turn so that I can be thinking about my action while the other players are playing. What that means, though, is that when I shuffle cards and when I empty my deck, that'll all happen at the end of my turn. That might matter. We'll see. So I'll go ahead and make sure I do that. I have shuffled my deck. What do I want to buy? That's not very good. I don't know what happened there, so I'll shift it back up. There we go. What do I want to buy? Well, for one, you can't really see those, so I'll shift it back down again. Cool. That's better. Okay. I have $7. I can afford everything there. This is neat, but because it lets me remove a lot, but it's very specific circumstances. The little, yeah, hold on. I want to look at something. Right. What does that icon mean? Really? Okay. Yeah. Remove 1 drop from a moss field if there is at least 1 drop on the field. But there may also be more than one drop on the moss field. If there are more, then you can remove 2 or 3. Okay, got it. So I can remove 2 and up to 4. So I have to have at least 2 on the field. And if I do, and it happens to have more than 2, I can remove up to 4. That's what that means. And then, of course, every other player gets to remove 1. That's pretty powerful and useful. Yeah, I like it. I like how powerful that is. I'm totally going to buy that. That's $7. It goes on top of my deck, and I spend all of my money. Okay, what's the new card coming out? Oh, it's a new card. This gives you 2 favor when you buy the card. Fancy. Okay. So that's me. What's Gideon going to do? Or Gwidyon going to do? Gwidyon is going to flip his token and then remove 2 dewdrops. So the timer has now officially begun. He has removed 2 dewdrops. He now has 16 left in his little pile there. If he gets there before me, he wins. Okay, that's that. Let's draw some cards. We got our new card here. Cool. Scoochie, there we go. Okay, so we've got our cards. We get $1. Pretty low on money this time around. We might not be buying anything. We'll see. That's okay, though. So this is an example of where I would love to be able to get 4 on one space so I can get rid of all 4 of them. This is going to come in handy to do exactly that. So let's take a look. There doesn't appear to be a movement penalty for soil specifically. No mention of a penalty in the rules. Okay. Okay, great. Thanks for checking. I must have misremembered that. That's great. Okay. So we need to move, first and foremost, just as a reminder, we need to move 1 off of a green space. So what I want to do is I want to get 4 together in one place. So let's get 3 favor? Maybe. Do I want 3 favor? It doesn't really matter. Yeah, why not? Removal is removal after all. So we'll shift a favor down here. Now we have 4 in one spot. And we did that from a green space, which is why this card is legal. So that's done. And then we will execute on that right away. So that lets me then, sun just can decide whether or not it's going to be bright or cloudy today. So you'll have to deal with little bits of cloud breaks messing with my brightness. Apologies for that. You can still read it though, I think. So I think it's okay. It'll go away in a minute. And if it doesn't, I'll fix it. So, okay, I get to remove those 4 at the end of the day. That's what that means. So I will remove those 4 straight off the board. So what does that mean though? Removal versus, removal versus getting them shifted over to the shrine spot. I think what that means is it doesn't matter. They just go straight into the shrine. I don't have to move them over there. I just get to lift them off the board and put them on there. Let me make sure. Basic actions. Yeah. End of your turn. Whenever you move a dewdrop onto the shrine, no matter from which direction, you may remove the dewdrops from your board immediately. You also collect leaves. Leaves are currency. You put dewdrops that you remove directly or via the shrine field into the empty fields on the tree shrine at the end of your turn. Okay. So when I remove them like that, they still go onto the shrine. So that's what I was looking for. So I will come out here and I'll start putting all 4 of those that I just removed out there. And I just got 3 favors, so I'll move my mushroom 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. One more and I can buy an orange card. I think this time I'm going to save up. Because the green card that's on offer right now is good. It basically gives you, while this card is active, it gives you a discount of 1 leaf on every card you buy. It's not great though. I would like to have one of these other fancier cards. So we're going to hold out. Okay. Now what happens? We discard our cards. We keep our money. And the market's already full, so we're good. And we have cards in our deck, so we're good there too. Okay. What's Gwidyon going to do to me next? Oh, you jerk. Okay. So he's going to flip his token over, and when his token reveals a dewdrop removal symbol, it is added to the action on his current tile. So it says, and remove 1. So it's actually remove 1 and remove 1. So he gets to remove 2 this round. I actually messed up, I think. I think Gwydyon's stuff does get added to the pile, or to the shrine. Let me make sure, because I have his other 2 here. I'm nearly certain that when he does remove them, it gets added to the shrine. It does. Okay. So that actually means that that the 2 that he just removed, these 2, are here, and the other 2 are here. That means 1 more, which is right here, and we will trigger the first completion of the shrine. And we'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. But that'll happen pretty quick. So that was Gwidyon. Now my turn. Drawing 3 new cards. Okay. So we received a gift. So we're going to put that in play. This is if I buy a card this game or this round, I will earn 1 favor as well, which is good for me because it'll push me into the orange zone. And this isn't a persistent effect for this round. So if I buy multiple cards, I will get multiple favor. Okay. Now that leaves us with these 2 cards. I'm tempted. Is there something that's worth buying that's cheaper than, that's 4 or cheaper? Let's look. Yes. I can make 3 moves and he'll get 1 move, which I believe means he gets to remove them. I'll double check. Or I could buy this card, which is a move and get to remove 1 off of water. I like the 3 moves card. It's cheaper, but it gives him something that he can do. So I guess the answer is what happens when he is allowed to do that, because that's going to influence whether I like that card or not. Well, what that tells me okay. Well, in good faith, it doesn't say this. It doesn't say that when you play a card where he gets to move something, this happens. It doesn't say anything one way or the other on that card. But that symbol, this symbol here, I'll go back in time and I'll show you. On his first tile, he has that symbol. Dang it. Let me fix that. Hold on. I'll probably have to fix it a couple different times. There we go. Okay. He has this symbol on one of his tiles. And when this executes on his tile, I have to shift one of my dewdrops further away from the shrine. So in good faith, I think I'm going to execute that same action the same way, even though the tiles or his cards don't explicitly say that that's what I should do. It's going to make things harder for me, but I feel like that is the right thing to do. And NetGod, if you feel so inclined to see if anybody has that written down somewhere, that'd be cool, but it's unnecessary. Let's see if I can shift it up, back up again. Yeah, that's okay. I just want to make sure it's nice and bright for you guys to be able to read what's going on. So I'm playing hide and seek with the sun today. Okay. So let's buy that card. To do that, we're going to spend this card and get $3. We're going to spend that $3. I'm not even going to bother with getting the tokens. We're going to spend $3 to buy that card that we were just talking about. And that'll go in the top of my deck. And did I get anything as an immediate effect? No. Okay. So we'll refill in a minute. So now back to here. Let's do that, and we will remove twice. Yeah. We will remove twice from here. Let's remove both of these because it's the furthest away from the, well, I guess this is technically furthest away. So we'll take that one and we'll take this one and we'll get some favor out of the deal. Ooh, but we're about to trip the shrine. What happens when we trip the shrine? Does it, when the shrine is full, you must, yeah, okay. 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 It doesn't really say what happens when, oh, I know what happens. I know exactly what happens. Okay. On my player board, I had one here and one here. Let's remove this one first. And so we'll remove this one first. That'll go onto the shrine. Yeah, that'll go onto the shrine. That fills the shrine up. Now, when I say fills the shrine up, you can see kind of that the shrine has kind of white areas. This is the zone for the two-player game. This leftmost, everything to the left of this first white mark is the two-player capacity. If we were playing three-player, this would be our capacity line instead, and then four-player are the last two drops on this scale. So this is what's considered to be complete for a two-player game. Okay. Right. Okay, so here's how this is going to go. Ready? Watch this. So I'm going to take the shrine, I'm going to put my finger in this first hole here, and I'm going to turn it. And that empties out the shrine. And so I'm going to come here, and you will kind of see at the top there that the die was rolled, that there was a die sitting there, and it's got this little wind symbol on it. So I'm just going to quickly scoot the shrine back to get all of the drops out of the shrine so that we can deal with the next step of this. And then I'll move the shrine back. Okay, so now we have all of the dewdrops out, and we have this little symbol that was rolled by the die as a result of turning the shrine around. This is a tile that we use to determine where dewdrops that come out of the shrine fall onto all of our player boards. Well, in the single player game, that just means me. So let's see. This also throws the shrine die supplies. Look at the symbol. Compare it with the face-up side of each supply card. Each player must now place one dewdrop on the supply. Yep, so you will always get 1 to 2 additional drops as soon as the shrine is full and cleared. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute. I want to check what happens when this occurs here. Yeah, so what happens in Mycelia when the shrine is finished? Favor, Prism drops, buying cards, playing for cards, special features, end of game, recycle cards, play gift. Interesting. What happens when the shrine is full? Well, that's a little strange. Am I supposed to put prism drops back onto the board? And if so, how do I know if something is supposed to be a prism drop or not? I think that prism drops are just removed and they're not put back out. That would be the thing that makes sense. Oh, if the shrine is full and you use a supply card, 1 or 2 new dewdrops come into play. Just like the basic game, no prism drops are added. Replenishment. Okay. That is a weird way to word it, but that tells me that prism drops are not added to player boards. They are removed from the game. So, all right. So sorry for the delay there. Here's how you actually interpret that. So on my player board, in fact, I'll take this and I'll look at my player board. On my player board, anything that matches the die symbol, so the die symbol is this kind of wind symbol, will get a dewdrop added to it as a result of the as a sort of result of the shrine emptying. So that'll go back away again, and then the die will get placed back out on the shrine again, and will get re-rolled when the shrine fills back up. Every other dewdrop that dropped is just simply removed from the game. Okay. So I will get a limited number of dewdrops added back to my board. It's just a question of where and how many. Okay. Oh, right. We were in the middle of resolving this card. I have one more to remove, so I'll go ahead and remove this, this prism like I was talking about. So that'll go back out on the shrine as the first thing, because it was the second remove action, and I got kind of disrupted there. But because I removed a prism drop, my mushroom moves forward as a favor, and because I bought a card this round, I also, because of this gift card right here, earn another favor. So I'm here. One more, and I've moved into the purple zone. Question is, do I want to buy that orange card or not? As a reminder, the orange card, hold on. The orange card is when you buy cards this round, you may discard a card. So discarding a card means something in your discard pile. And that would be an opportunity to thin my deck. I do have some cards in my discard pile right now that I wouldn't mind getting rid of. I would get $2 immediately upon buying this card. Not a bad thing either. I think I better buy that. It kind of seems silly to do that when I'm one step away from being able to buy this. You know what? This is actually going to get me favor faster. Let's save for this, because as soon as I can get these removed a lot faster, I can start removing that one more and I'll be able to buy this card. Yeah. Maybe I'm doing that backwards, but I'm so close. It would be kind of silly to buy that now. Yeah. I'm going to wait. I am going to wait. Not going to buy it. Refill the market. My turn is over. This goes away. And it's his turn. This is his last turn before he reshuffles. It'll be his first reshuffle. He gets... why does he get $1? He doesn't care about dollars. That's interesting. What does he do with that? Let's read it. You get a leaf. I don't mind if I do. Hey, thanks for the leaf, buddy. I get a leaf, and he gets to remove one. Okay. Goes out on the board. All right. Not too bad. Okay, so what happens? Continue this until you have turned up the 5th card. So that there's one card left face down. Make the move normally, but then shuffle all 6 solo cards and place them face down. The game continues normally. I thought that he does something at the end of his turn. Turn over the supply card to the other side. Put the leftover dewdrops. Oh, to the other side. Oh, okay. I was supposed to do that. I missed that part. Got it. So he doesn't... What happens in Prisma when that happens? Ah, right. Here we are. He gets favor. Okay, so the difference being, in the solo game with Prisma in play, when he reshuffles, he gets to move his mushroom 1 space. Okay, so I've done that, and now I will reshuffle his cards. So he has 6 tiles, but you will only ever see 5 at any given point. So you don't really know exactly which actions he's going to take. Quickly giving his tiles a quick shuffle. Okay. So he's set and ready to go for his turn. Now back to me. I've got $2 and a deck of cards. Oh boy. Well, he's going to be able to... Well, I guess not. He's just going to make my life a little harder, that's all. Clouds, are you going away? You are. Look at that. Cool. All right. Okay. So, let's earn $3. It's these two here. So I'm up to $5. And then I'm going to make 3 moves. And one of them is going to and then he's going to shift one of them further away from me. Let's look at our board here. Let's save these outlying ones on the edges here as ones when we get remove actions. We'll just remove those. We're not going to spend a bunch of time moving these around the board. Instead, I think what we'll do we have a card in the deck. I don't know where it is. It lets us remove 4. So let's shift. I kind of want to remove these 2. Just get them up here to the shrine right away. In fact, that's probably the smarter play. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do 2 of our moves will be those 2. So those will go out onto the shrine like so. And I will get 1 more favor. We'll get to that in a moment. And then for my last move, I will shift this 1 up here. So now we have a group of 4. In case that card comes up, we know it's coming. Now we are, let's see. Okay, good. To make sure I didn't miss anything. So now we're gonna finish this. And because he normally will make me shift something further away, I'll go ahead and just do that. Since this is already further away, let's group these together. Let's do that. We're shifting them further away, but we're prepping ourselves for further remove actions, which should help, I think. Okay. So there's that. Now, what's he going to do? No, I guess I could buy a card. Do I want to buy a card? I have $5. My deck's getting a little bigger, so I have to be a little careful. I can move 1 on any space, and then I can move 1 from a green and remove 1. That's interesting. Or this is just a, hey, remove 1 or banish a card. And I get 2 favor when I buy it. I don't actually want to buy that right now because I don't want to get that favor and lose it. So as much as I want that card, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to hope he doesn't wipe the action row or the market row. You know, I'm going to hold on to my cash. I'm not going to buy a card. Instead, I'm going to spend my favor. And this is not instead, but I happen to be in the purple area finally. So I'm going to buy a favor card. I'm going to spend all of my purple here and buy this card. So now when that card is active, that any dewdrop movement is actually the ability to remove instead. So that's going to go on the top of my deck. And because I bought it, it says I can recycle a card. So let's go back into my deck here. Do I have the one that lets me remove it? Oh, that's still coming up. Okay. So I was right to prep. That card is going to be coming up next. Well, it might be coming up next. I just added some cards to the deck. Let's put some money back in the deck here. Okay. All right. Now, what did replace it? Anytime I buy a card, I can recycle. That's pretty powerful. And draw 2 cards. Wow. Wow, that's pretty good. All right. So I've done that. I'm not going to do anything else. Got some $5. Got some cards. Great. Let's see what he does. He is going to flip his token and remove 1. Okay. I have done that. All right. Now back to me. Okay. We did not get that card, the card that we were hoping to get. But this will actually help us. And this is a gift. This is our new one. So because we have a movement action, we'll be able to remove instead. How that's going to work is this will go up here, but I don't get to draw any new cards. I have to make do with just 2 cards. That's the downside of that fancy card. That's okay. I'm all right with it. We're going to do that. We're going to move this, which now means I get to remove 1 from a blue space. So I will remove 1 of these Prism tokens, and I'll put that out on the board instead of moving, right? And then this says $4 or remove 2 red. I'm tempted to remove 2 red. I mean, the money would be nice, but let's just take advantage of that. We have 2 on 2 reds. They're furthest away, so we'll just take those 2. The shrine is already getting full, though. Between Gwidyon and myself, we're getting close to having to empty the shrine again. Right. Okay. We removed a fair bit that turn. We moved 3. That's pretty good. And now let's see. Oh, I'm supposed to draw cards at the end. I'm always supposed to draw cards at the end. So that's the card. That's not the card we were looking for. That's interesting. I thought, did I miss that card? Where'd it go? Did it get stuck? Oh, no, it was in there. I just missed it. That's all right. I would have recycled that card. That's all right. No big deal. It'll come around. I'm quickly shuffling my deck so I can draw my 3 new cards before the end of my turn. That's what I have been forgetting to do every turn. In Mycelia, normal, the base game, there is no gift area here on the top of the board. That's a new addition. That's because you never had gift cards before. That's where you play them. I should have mentioned that earlier in the intro. Just didn't. Okay. Wow, man, I could have used this that remove upgrade. But as it is, we'll go with that. Okay, now it's his turn. He is going to shuffle the frickin' market. Can you believe it? What a jerk. Okay, so all those go away. Man, these clouds cannot decide what they want to do. All right. Fine. I'm tempted to turn on the auto shutter, but it tends to get a little overzealous. So I think I'll just continue to control it myself. It's fine. It's fine. We're good. We're all good. All right. So, once again, hit the wrong button. We got the new market. But he didn't have to remove any dewdrops from his board, so that's good. Lots of removal out there. Let's look at that again, actually. Look at all that. I have $5 right now. I had a feeling he was probably going to cycle it, so I held on to my money just in case. 2 moves and 2 removal. That could be 4 removal with the right setup. $3 or removal from 1 green. I like this card. I like that card a lot. But very specific. I have to do it from certain regions, whereas the open ones aren't that bad. This one's really cool. Remove 1. None of them are great, though. None of them are great. I didn't really talk about this during the teach, but I might spend $1 to cycle the market row. This is an action we can take. and it's $1 to do it. If I want to spend $3, I can make one move on one dewdrop, but that's I'm never going to use that. This, though, $1 might be worth spending. In fact, I earn $1 this round. So let's earn $1, not accumulate it, and then just wipe the market row again. So I'll come here, and just as a reminder that I ran it, I'm going to take that tile and I'm going to flip it over. We'll get it back again at the end of the turn, but just so I don't do it again. So all of those market row cards are going to go away, and I'm going to wipe the market. He's not the only one that gets to wipe the market. Ooh, interesting. Now we're starting to cook here. This is fascinating. Okay. What do we have? So these are 2 expansion cards. 2 moves and a recycle. 1 removal from a red space and a recycle. I can afford the 2 moves and a recycle right now, which is a pretty good card. We're all fine here. Boring conversation anyway. Three. If you have on spaces where you have at least 2, remove 1. That's powerful too. Well, let's figure out what we're going to buy after we finish resolving our cards. But that's very interesting. Right. Here we are. We get to move 1 that's on a red space. So maybe we do this first. Yeah, let's do this card first. We get to move 3 times. So we're going to move 1 onto this red space. I think you see why. And then I'll move these 2 up 1. Then I'll move 1 red space, and we will just go ahead and ship that dewdrop off the board. And that goes out on the shrine. Not a bad day's work. Except we're now 1 away, so if he gets rid of some on his turn, we're going to dump the shrine again. Okay. Now we buy cards. If we want to buy cards. I'm not 100% certain we do. $5. Maybe we do. That's a pretty cool card. Move twice, recycle. Getting a recycle in the deck wouldn't suck. Yeah, why not? Let's buy a card. We're going to spend all 5. And we're going to buy this card. This recycles, because I'm not going to buy any more cards. And this goes onto the top of the deck. Okay, what's he going to do? Ow. Hold on. Sometimes it doesn't like to focus correctly, so I just want to make sure you guys can see. I think you can. Is it blurry for you guys? No, I don't think so. I think it's all right. How about the cards? Can you read the cards? Yeah, I think you can read the cards. All right. Didn't mean to actually tap the focus button there. I meant to tap the scene. So, all right. He is, of course, going to remove 1. And I get $1, but that's going to cycle the shrine. So we're going to remove 1 from his board, and we're going to do this again. So what we're going to do is I will come up here, and I think what I'll do this time, just to save myself the hassle, is I'll shift the shrine back, and then I will go ahead with the that. You see how it rolled the die there? As it emptied the shrine. So we'll just do that. And then these will all come out. And we'll push those over there. Hold on. Put these over here. We'll remove all of the prisms. Okay. And then we'll shift the shrine back. There we go. And as you can kind of see in the bottom there, we have a moon symbol. So we will take our tile there. This is the other side of it. It will flip over and over again. And we'll look at the moon. As it turns out, the moon is only one space. So I will only have one dewdrop added back to my board instead of two this round. That's really handy. This card says it will go here, so it will go right there. And we'll flip it over, and now it's on the other side you've already seen, and that'll be the next time. So we'll come over here, we'll take our little die, we'll put our die back over there, and we go again. Now, because, is that all that happens? I think that's all that happens. Yeah, that's all that happens. Because he only goes up in favor when he shuffles his deck, and he's not ready to do that yet. Okay, my turn. I should have drawn cards. I didn't draw cards. I don't think it matters, but ooh, 2 gifts in 1 draw. Fancy. I get to draw, before I move them away, I get to draw 2 new cards, 1 for each of them based on those 2 symbols. So those will both go up into my active gift area for the round. There they are. And so now, anytime I buy a card this round, which will not happen because I don't have the money, I would earn a favor. And anything that he gets to follow along on, he actually doesn't get to follow along on, which may or may not matter. Actually, I get to draw 2 new cards, so it might. We'll see. No, I get a basic money and a basic move. Stupid. That's, what a waste. What a waste. I got to burn these cards, man. I got to get these out of here. These are killing me. Okay. Well, let's get the dollar. Easy. Can move a green and we can do 2 moves. I'm nearly certain that, I screwed up a little bit. This is a card I played last round. He should have been able to move one of my tokens further away from the shrine on the board, and I failed to do that for him. So let me do that right now. I will shift this one further away from the shrine that way. That was my solution to that problem. And we'll come back in here. Right, so green, huh? I have an idea. So we'll do this card first. We're going to shift 2 any 2 times. Well, 1 any 2 times. So we'll go here onto green. And then we'll go here onto red. Yes, I like it. And then I get to recycle, because that's what this card is. So what do I have out here? Basic stuff. Except for this one where I get to move 3 times. So we'll go ahead and recycle that. I don't have to, but I will. And then here I get to move 1 green. So I'll just take this green that I just moved and put it in here. You see what I'm doing, right? I'm packing 4. So anytime I get that 4 card, I can just clear that whole block. That's the goal. Right. That's it for my turn. I only have $2, so not buying anything. He didn't have to follow anything, so those gifts go away too. Waste of the gifts, but that's all right. What's he gonna do? Oh, nope, draw my cards first, draw back up. There's my recycled card, $2 and $4. Not too bad, okay. So he's gonna flip his card, so he actually gets to remove 3. That sucks, okay. Away those go. This is coming down to the wire. I'm playing a little fast and loose here. I should be trying to shift a lot more, but I keep trying to play with my deck. Play with my deck. I'm funny. Okay, there we go. My turn. He's got one more turn before he shuffles and increases his favors position on the board here. All right, well, I still didn't get the remove 3 thing, so I think I'll go ahead and get my monies out of the way, unless I don't want that and I want to remove 2 red instead. Wouldn't be the worst idea. But I think I'll take the money. I think I'm going to take the money. $6. $6 ain't nothing. Okay, so we have $8 on us right now. We could buy that fancy card, and we might. I don't know. There's 2 of them out there. So those are done. And he gets $1, but he actually doesn't because he doesn't care about cash. So this is the only other card. Does he get to... Can I do this in any order? I guess I'm going to say yes. Here's what I mean. I get 3 moves, and he gets to shift 1 away. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move... I just, because of the way this works, I think I'm just going to do it this way. Maybe this is cheating. I don't think it is, but I'm going to move 2... And then he's going to shift 1 away, and then I'm going to use my 3rd to shift it back. Because he gets to, as part of this action, he gets to shift 1 away. So that's what I'm going to choose to do. I'm just going to split it up. I still did 3 moves. I just did 2, and then his, and then mine. So maybe that's cheating. I don't know. It's not written in the book that he even gets to do that during that type of an action from me, but I'm choosing to do that because that's what feels right. So, not too much of a problem. So what I've done is I have effectively grouped myself into pockets of 4, waiting for that card to come out to let me clear these pockets in one shot. That's the goal. That is the goal. Okay. Buying card? Maybe buying card. Doesn't say exactly. Just has to have at least 2, and then I can remove 1. So I like that. That's pretty handy. Let's go ahead and pick it up. Why not? Okay. Now, that's the end of my turn. And I'm going to draw up. So that card I just got comes out, and the card I was looking for just came out. Excellent. So, next turn, I will be able to wipe out an entire cell of 4 and remove 3 from the other 2. And $3. It's going to be a good turn next turn. But let's see what he does on his last turn before he reshuffles. He's going to push me further away. Great. Right. I guess we'll go here. I shouldn't have spent all my money. Well, I can maybe fix it. We'll see. All right. Well, because he shuffled, he's going to shuffle this deck in a minute, but because it's Mycelia Prisma, he gets to advance 1 marker when he shuffles. So I have done that. I'm going to take that, and we're going to give his tiles a little shuffle. For the record, he's got 8 dewdrops left. And I have 12. Soon to be a lot less, though. Okay. All right. So, my turn. Looks good to me. I like it. Okay. So, let's play this one first. And I'm going to wipe out the one in the water. Nah, it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's wipe out. Well, I wouldn't mind getting some Prism, the favor, out of the way. So we'll grab those. And we'll put those out on the shrine. Looking good. And we'll move our mushroom 1, 2. Do I want the green card? Not really. Wouldn't mind that orange card though, so we'll wait. Right. Then we'll spend this one here. We'll get $3. We might spend that $3 right now. We'll see. Because we're going to play this card. Lets us remove 1 from places that have at least 2. Might be okay. I don't know that I have to do it. Okay, so I'm going to remove this one. And then I'm going to remove this one. And I will remove this one. Sure. Sure, like that. Okay. That's great. So that's how that is done. Okay, so back out on the shrine. We are here, and now he's probably going to remove 1, depending on how that goes. And if he does, it'll dump, and then I'll have more to deal with. But I think we're doing okay. Nope, that's not what we're doing. We're going to shuffle our cards. And we could buy a card, but I don't want to. I don't want to pollute my card deck with cheap stuff right now. So we're going to hang on to our cash. I'm going to draw cards. And we can't. We have to shuffle. Still don't have any burn cards. That's the only troubling thing. That's why I really want that other card, but I think it's getting so late game, it's not going to matter here soon. We'll see. Okay. Ooh. So why I said ooh is I just got my remove 3 back again. That could be good. Especially if he does shuffle it and I get 1 more. Oh, wait. That's interesting. So this is going to come up here for next turn. And this comes out. Oh, no, it doesn't. Even though I know it's coming, it doesn't matter. I don't get to draw on that card. That's all right. So these are the 2 cards I get to play with next round. What's he going to do? Oh, he's just going to flush the market. That's all right. I didn't really like those cards anyway. I thought for sure he was going to remove a dewdrop. Okay, well, that kind of changes things a little. The short answer is I won't get the full effect from my cards this round. I don't think it's going to matter, though. Okay, my cards look like this. As a reminder, my active gift condition right now is any moves are actually removes. So this is actually a remove. I don't have anything on blue, but I Oh, that's not true. I do. I know what to do. I know what to do. We're going to play that blue, and we're going to shift this favor marker down here. Oh, wait, I don't actually shift. It's a removal. Let me think about that then. Maybe I won't play it. I won't play it yet. I will play this one instead. So we will come here, and I have two locations that meet this card's condition of having at least two on them. It's these two here. So for those two, I will remove one. I will unfortunately not be able to do it a third time because I don't have additional locations that meet that requirement. But I will flush the market because that first one filled up the shrine. So we will shift the shrine back. We will dump said shrine. And this time we have the tree icon. Okay, move all these out of here. All those out of there. Okay. Okay. Right. So the tree goes there, and then we will take our tile, and we'll look on the player board for trees. We're going to put one here and one here. That's actually okay for us because this is so close to the shrine that a single move action will get that cleared. And if I can get this shifted over there, then I can use my other cards to clear. So that can be okay. That's not too bad. As long as he doesn't get too overzealous and start clearing dewdrops like crazy, I think we'll be okay. Okay, so let's finish up my actions though. This is the second one, and it goes out. And now I'm still screwed. I don't have the ability to do that. But because we saved this blue card here, and now I look here, and I do have two options that are on blue that I can remove instead of move. So I'll remove the furthest one, this one here. And, I didn't move for the favor I got for the prism drop, so I'm in orange now. That's good, because we're about to buy a card. Okay, so that takes care of this card. And for a recap, that leaves us with 4 left on our board. Kind of spread out, but I think we can make something work. Okay. So those cards go away, as does my benefit for the round. I have $3. I'm not going to spend it. I will instead buy an orange card, favor card, or gift. This one. Okay. Let's draw back up before the end of the round. That gift that I just bought will become active right away. Money, more money, and some removals, not a bad thing. And 2 moves. I think I'll have the game over in 2 rounds. I think I'm going to have the game over in 2 rounds. This is a check situation. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Based on that, I think we can do it. Okay. What's he going to do? He wants to shift me further away. Fine and dandy. I will shift further away. here. There's my shift further away. Great. All right, my turn. $3, easy. We're going to go 2 red removals. So we'll remove these 2 red. Out to the main here. Boom, boom. That leaves us with 2 left. These 2 here. We will shift 2 of them. And I'll only shift 1. I don't have to resolve both cards, or both actions on this card. I can choose not to if I want to. So I'll go ahead and just shift 1. We'll shift this into the shrine. Oop, you didn't see that. I was here, and we'll shift it 1 into the shrine. So there it goes. Off to the shrine it goes. Now we're down to 1. Oh, and I get to recycle. So I will recycle I have a gift card where it lets me where any move becomes a remove. That's the best option I have to recycle. So hopefully I get another move card next round. I have $6. I could try to buy a card that lets me do that for sure. But there are no cards out there that do. That sucks. Okay, well, I have done everything I can to set myself up. With luck, I will draw a move action of some kind next turn, and that will end it. So that comes out. Oh, I bought the orange thing, but did not remove my guy back. So there's that. This comes off. I'm not going to buy any cards. So I draw 3 new. And there's the favor. And there's another favor. He doesn't get to follow me. That one does let me draw a new card. So there's the draw new card. And then I get to draw 1 more. And look at that. It's a move. And he doesn't get to follow me, which wouldn't matter anyway because there'd be nothing to follow. But it's his turn. See what he does. Wow. Wow. I get $1, but he gets to remove 3 of his tokens off his board. Why that's a problem is, other than it getting really sparse out here, he very well could have, if things were different, triggered another shrine dump, and my game would not actually have been over. But as it is, there is 2 spots left. Thank goodness. Thank the forest goddess that it is not that way today. Back to me. Easy. Game over. I will go ahead and earn my $2, just in case I get points for having bucks. I don't think I do, but maybe I do. But then I'll go ahead with my moves, which, because of my current gifts, any move is a remove. And that is a move. That turns that into a remove. And my board is now clear. This house is clear. All right, what happens if Gwidyon has removed all 20 dewdrops, in this case 18 dewdrops from his pile, then Gwidyon has won. You do not get another turn. If you have removed all of your dewdrops first, you win immediately. I win. Gwidyon does not get another turn either. If there is a draw, then blah, blah, blah. Note, yes, he's very strong. Play so with or without cards from the extension. Okay, yeah. I have beat Gwidyon handily. He had 18, so he was already at an advantage. He was already at a 2 dewdrop advantage. You normally would have it 20, but he had 18. And I managed to clear my board with him having 5 left. He almost had 8 left, but he just cleared 3 at the very last second there. So there it is. There is Mycelia Prisma, the expansion to the wonderful gateway entry deck builder game Mycelia. I mean, what do I think of it? You know me, I love a game with beautiful art, and yet again, the art here is first rate. The iconography, very clear. There is a lot going on, actually, in some of these icons to try to decipher, but once you ingest the concepts, it can really click. There's some mechanics that you didn't see that I'd like to talk about, because in the base game, and I'm sure in some of the expansion content, there are guys like this, where it says immediately gain another portal location on your board. If that guy had been out long enough for me to buy him with enough money, you betcha I had bought that early. So here's my player board. This is built on. This location is actually printed on the board. But if you buy that guy, he gives you the ability to put another portal in, thus giving you 2 opportunities to move stuff onto the shrine instead of just having to get everything up to the corner. So those guys, when they come out, super handy to have. The other thing that didn't come up at all, which I think is criminal, and it doesn't happen very often in my plays of Mycelia, I would have liked to see this happen more. Maybe there's more critters that I just get terribly unlucky in drawing. But these are all upgrades to these little powers that you see down here. These like spend some money, get to do a special thing. There's 2 slots right here. And I can pay money, or I can, when you hire certain mushrooms from the deck, they will grant you these. And they will grant you very specifically one of these, which are special abilities like move your mushroom along the favor track 1 step, and you spend $1 to do it. That is cheap. You know, recycle anytime you want for 3 leaves. Burn a card from your deck for 3 leaves. Like, if I can find those characters, that's powerful. This right here, $3, move 2, right? You know, kill 1 for $3. I could have just done that at the end and saving myself the hassle, but I didn't have this upgrade. So all of these are upgrades you get from hiring very specific mushrooms out of the deck. So that means, unfortunately, that some of these really cool player powers just may not come out at all when you play Mycelia. And that's okay. But it is kind of a bummer to be staring at those upgrades going, God, it would be nice to get one of those and not have access to them at all. So if I had one gripe, if you want to call it that, about Mycelia, is that they have stuff like that that's available that would be wonderful to use, but because of the way the system works, more often than not, all of these upgrades like extra portals, extra player powers are just simply unattainable. So that's what keeps this game from being like amazing, go buy it. That's not to detract from the fact that I think it's a great game and you should still go buy it, because I really think you should. I liked it enough to buy its expansion sight unseen, even having known that that was a gripe. So that should tell you my opinion of this game. And I will say, I agree with what everybody else has been saying about this expansion, that it adds just that extra little layer of oomph to an otherwise gateway deck builder. And that deck builder on its own is cozy, it's chill, it's a lovely puzzle. It doesn't really tax you too much. It's just a lovely game to get to the table when you just don't have it in you to play a big game. And Mycelia Prisma just adds just that little extra je ne sais quoi, that little pinch of salt, you know, that little MSG to make this thing sing. So what more can I say? I love Mycelia. I think it's great. I don't play deck builders very often. You know, go look at my channel. I don't play deck builders much. But this combination of art, thematic integration, which you know is key for me, and mechanics makes for me a great deck builder. I get a little bit of game, I get a little bit of tableau, I get a little bit of a player board to mess with, right? I get that really cool revolving shrine that dumps all the stuff out and rolls a die at the same time. And now I get this cool progression track that lets me unlock special abilities for the round. Like, there it is. There's my 2 cents about what I think of Mycelia Prisma. That's it for me for this week. If I missed anything, as always, check out the link in the description to take to my contact form where you can let me know about mistakes I make or things I miss. If NetGod doesn't catch anything, etc., or something that I miss that we both miss, then I'll put it down in the notes. If you contact me, let me know. I will validate that I made that mistake, and if I did, I will update my show notes so you can always find my errors and mistakes that I make listed down there. So check things out there. If you think I made a mistake or something's unclear, chances are I probably explained it down there in the show notes. So yeah, this one was a surprise. I didn't expect to play it this week. It was just one of those games that, like I said at the top, I was just scrolling through my friendly local game store shelves and just happened upon this expansion from late last year that completely missed me. I had no clue that it had happened. And I saw it in the shelves and was shocked. And I was like, there's one left. I'm buying it. It's mine. I'm taking it home. I don't even care. I looked it up. I made sure that the reviews didn't say it sucked. And I said, well, great. If people like it, that's good enough for me. I'm going to buy it. And the rest is history. I'm going to let the rest ride. So that's what I did. I'm glad I did. It's a great expansion. I'll probably never play without it. It's already shuffled into everything, so I'll just leave it plugged in. So yeah, that's it. Go get it. If you like it, I highly recommend it. And other than that, you know what I'm about to say. Tune in next week for something completely different. All right. See you guys later.